So retake the Great Northern Wall, push back the invading Char army. And on the map, here's Fort Ranik, and here's where the Great Northern Wall is. So, just for some reference on where we got put after that mission. Do a quick check on what the bonus objective is. Make sure I don't miss anything. Yes. I do recall this. Okay, we're good. I know where I'm going again. Usually the bonus objectives aren't too lore heavy, but I mean, it's nice to do them, I guess. It's technically part of the content, so... So as you can see, we have aggroed quite a lot of things, which would usually be terrifying if we were appropriately leveled, but I mean, it's basically like in Guild Wars 2. You can be level 80 scaled down, and you'll still pretty much just demolish things. Just from the scaled down stats. Except in this game, your stats don't scale down, so you're just really, really overpowered. So again, this guy is red, so he is an elementalist. He casts elementalist abilities. So this guy gives us the bonus objective to recover his son, Dieter, who is being imprisoned by Char. So, we need to be on the lookout for Mr. Dieter, because he is the bonus objective. Do 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 do. So in this game, and I think in Guild Wars 2 to some degree as well, but Guild Wars 1 in particular, high ground mattered a lot, because high ground actually affected how your arrow would arc. You would actually have a better advantage from a ranged character perspective if you were shooting from someone on a high elevated place. So generally you would always want to try and get to the high ground for battles. But as you can see, Barrage makes pretty short work of most of the enemies here. Because, as I mentioned, AoEs are pretty strong in this game. One thing I will say is that in this game, Char, or not Char, just enemies in general, they were intelligent enough to flee out of AoE. Specifically, point blank AoE is a big one that they fleed out of. Okay, so this guy is yellow. He is a warrior. So he will cast warrior abilities when he actually decides to fight. But, yeah. In the most predictable battle of all time, he also falls, even as a warrior. But yeah, enemies will flee out of AoE abilities in this game. So in my opinion, they're a bit more intelligent than the AI in Guild Wars 2. Where it's just, oh yeah, let's just go in a corner and stand in like all these things that are hurting me. This sucks, ow, ow. If enemies worked like they did in Guild Wars 1, it honestly would be a lot better, because then you couldn't just stack and run through everything. It would be like an actual challenge, I think. And I think that's one area where Guild Wars 2 lacks. Like, it's not that dungeons are hard, but once you realize, like, oh, you can just sit in a corner and everything will just run up and stack on us, it kind of like killed the fun of dungeons in a way. Like, dungeons, when I first was attempting them, were like, oh man, this is really cool mechanics, and we have to like time our rolls and stuff, and like to some degree that's still true, but things die so much faster that it just doesn't matter most of the time, and that's a bit unfortunate. So, I'm all in favor of bringing back more intelligent AI that will actually run out of AoE fields, if that's something they would maybe implement for some of the newer enemies. But we'll see. So, turns out this cage over here is where Mr. Dieter is, that we have been looking for our bonus objective. And he has yet another bonus objective that the Char have carried off his friends. So now our bonus... Oh, maybe that is it. Never mind. I thought there was a second part, but apparently there's not. So he's like, yeah, Char pretty much messed up everyone in this area. So now we have to go help everyone else. But that is as far as the bonus objective goes. So we save the son, and he supposedly runs back to his father, and everything's okay. So a very easy way to tell who the bosses are in this game is you'll notice that most of the things are just Char Blade Warrior, Char Stalker, Char Mindspark. Whereas bosses are actually named. So this guy's like Claw Featherstorm. So bosses in this game will have unique names. And that's how they differentiate themselves from the standard enemy. I did indeed blow through Old Ascalon. It was a level 2 and out situation, since I don't know, most of the story in Old Ascalon is pretty forgettable, other than the main part of the Syrian happening and such. I suppose I should have introduced Gwen. That would be the one regret, I think. Because Gwen's actually relevant. This is Gwen. She was the little girl that you saw in the cutscenes in the pre-Syrian content. And, well, just keep her in mind. She becomes relevant again later. So pretty cool thing here, there's all these Char here, and you're like, oh gosh, do I have to go fight all those? When, no, you don't. You could, and I have before, just for fun, but this guy over here has an alternative plan.
Damn Char snuck up while I was repairing this trebuchet. It's missing a release lever, a restraining bolt, and an arming crank. Search the other wrecked trebuchets to find those 3 pieces and bring them to me. If you do, I can fix this little lovely, and we'll give those Char a taste of their own filth. To activate the trebuchet after it's fixed, pull the lever once to load it, and once again to fire it. Anything under its blast will get blown to bits. But hurry! More Char come through the wall every minute.
Okay. So, in basically the same fashion as the last mission where we were going to search wreckages for armor pieces, now going to search wreckages for catapult parts. And here's one right here. And there was nothing. What a shame. We'll go check this one. Salvaged restraining boat. I can't say I've actually ever done the end group instance in Pre-Seer. I never kept the character there long enough to do it. You found a restraining bolt. It'll hook it up while you look for a release lever and an arming crank. So there's 2 more wreckages, and there's 2 more pieces we're missing. So it kind of works. Garage, everything. So we have the release lever. I still forgot to equip a running skill, because I'm bad like that. So we'll do it the slow way. Oh, just need an arming crank. Oh, things are back to sporadically glitching around, and can't go that way. We need to go down this little hill. Oh my, terrain is a joy. Oh, everything died. Arming crank, hooray! Oh yeah, the to activate the charge shape, pull the lever once loaded and begin to fire. Anything under its blast will get blown to bits. Yeah, that the pre-searing leveling, it was pretty hardcore for the people who did it. For people who are unaware, what you had to do to level in pre-sear, you could actually get to the level cap of pre-sear. What it entailed was there's this gate that you had to have a friend or other player let you into, and in that gate, in that new area you could get into was some char. And the problem was, after a point, you out-leveled these char, and they couldn't give you XP anymore. So what you actually had to do was pull the char to the end of, or to the resurrection shrine, and let them kill you repeatedly for hours so that they would actually level up. And then once they would get to a certain level, you would kill them, get experience, and then go back to repeat the process again and again and again until eventually you get to level 20. That was probably the hardest achievement and rarest one to get in Guild Wars. But then, later on down the line, after there was a title for it and such, they changed it a bit. You could get quests that were activated in that area. You didn't need a partner to go there, I don't think. So they made it a little bit simpler in that sense. But and you could keep gaining experience through these quests rather than death leveling. But it was still pretty brutal. Anyway, let us load the catapult or trebuchet. So we have a fireball, we fling it, and we watch lots of things die. It's going to be fun. Boom. They're all dead. So, yeah. Now that we've done that, we can make our way forward, which is actually back the other way. My mistake. So why would we kill all these char and then not go this way? Yeah, that was my error. It's like, oh look, it's a cliff. I could totally... Nope, can't walk down that. Just brutal. Just brutal what you could and couldn't walk down in this game. It was... I don't know. Once I got the jump thing in Guild Wars, like, just jumping in an MMO after playing this, it's just... It's an experience. Jumping feels so good. Yeah, they actually did add quests eventually. It helped a lot. I never went back and did it because I still wasn't that hardcore about it, but it was something for those people who decided to stick around in the original pre-seer area forever, I guess. Of course, I don't know, I was always jealous of the people who were in pre-seer and had like black dye on all their armor and stuff, because in this game, dye wasn't in like some special system that you like unlock it once and then you keep it. You actually had to unlock all of your dyes, and like you'd have to get 5 of them. So if I wanted my armor, this armor I'm wearing, key, to be black, I'd have to go get 5 black dye, which was still the most expensive, believe it or not. Even in Guild Wars 1, black and white, color scheme of dreams for everyone. So black was the most expensive, and it was always a thing. I miss this game too. DK, it's a fun game. This game, well, was my /age. I have 3,300 hours in this game, so it's a good game. It was a really fun game for its time, and it kept me busy for basically until Guild Wars 2 came. So I really can't ask for more than that. Good news is it's the same model, so as long as you go to their website, if you owned the game at any point, you can still download it and play it. There is nothing against that. Still just go to their site and download the client. It is that simple.
The time for action has come. No more cowering behind this wall. From now on, we take the fight to our enemies!
Prince Ranik! Prince Ranik!
What is it?
Prince Ranik! We are victorious, but it has cost us greatly. During their retreat, the Char took prisoners. Several of our wounded have been carried off.
Ascalons will live in fear of these beasts no more. We march to the north to free our brothers and take back that which has been taken from us.